Hello, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Lindsay and welcome to the Mom Logs. Today, I'm going to be bringing you my top 5 tips for staying on track while we are all in quarantine. This video is in collaboration with some other lovely people in the weight loss community here on YouTube. It is generously hosted by Active Rachel Ann. I will have her channel as well as all of the other participants in this collaboration linked down below. When you're done watching my video, please go check out their channels and their videos as well. If you are coming over from somebody else's channel, welcome. My name is Lindsay. A little bit of background information about myself. I am 34 years old. I will be 35 at the end of April. I have been married to my husband for 8 wonderful years. We have 2 little boys who are 2 and 4, and we live in Northeast Ohio. I have been on WW, formerly known as Weight Watchers, since April of 2018. I have lost a total of 81 pounds. My starting weight was 241, and now I am on maintenance going towards lifetime at 160 pounds. I have 2 more weeks of maintenance and then I will be lifetime with Weight Watchers. If you're unfamiliar with what exactly lifetime means, it basically means that you weigh in on the first weigh-in of every month and you don't have to pay for the Weight Watchers services as long as you are no more than 2 pounds over your goal weight. So I have my list here on my phone in my notes app, and I'm just gonna go through my list and I'm going to share some pieces of advice on how I am staying on track during this time of quarantine and coronavirus. My first piece of advice is to continue with the routine of packing your lunch. One thing that's going to be really helpful during this period is to plan. So if you pack your lunch the night before or in the morning for that day, it sets you up for success, and then you don't have to worry or stress out about what you're going to have for lunch because it's already going to be packed and stored in your fridge for you to go grab when it is lunchtime. So whether you're just working from home or you're out of work, you will be able just to go grab your healthy lunch. You're going to know that it's there, and then you can eat it and enjoy it and move on with the rest of your day. Everyone always says that if you plan out your day, you are going to have the most success. So this is just a way that you can hold yourself accountable and try and plan out your day just a little bit more so that you are more apt to stay on track. My next piece of advice is going to be to keep snacks that aren't yours somewhere else where they are out of eyesight and you aren't tempted by them. So if you're living with other people, a husband, a partner, a boyfriend, a girlfriend who aren't eating the same as you, then it's so helpful to keep their snacks and their foods in a place where you're not going to see it as soon as you open up the pantry or as soon as you open up the fridge. So I live with my husband who eats most of the same foods that I eat, but sometimes he has snacks and some like sides with his food that I won't eat because it's not on plan for me. And I also have 2 little kids who have things like goldfish crackers and things that are just way too easy for me to just reach my hand into the jar and have that. So I want to take you into my pantry to show you how it's organized and how I keep those temptations out of eyesight. And this can also be used in the refrigerator or in the freezer as well. All right, so this is just an overview of my pantry. I'm not gonna turn this into like a pantry tour or anything. I just kind of wanted to show you what I'm working with, and I don't have like a big fancy walk-in pantry or anything. It's just right here next to my fridge. But up here on the top, I do keep like some of our snacks. So this stuff is gonna be out of sight, but I know that that bin is chips. I can probably eat like half of the chips that are in there. This one is bread, This right here is like my sugar-free candies. These are the ones that I like to have like one of when I'm done with lunch. So the stuff that I can eat, I put in clear jars so that I can see it and I know it's there. Right behind there's rice cakes. I can eat those. These, another container that I can see through. These are all like the Fiber One bars. Yeah. And then my Lily's chocolate chips, so I know those are there. These are our shaker bottles, and then like protein, and my PB2 is back here as well. So this is like all stuff that I can eat. These are the kids' gummy worms that they'll get like 1 or 2 after lunch, and I know that 1 worm is 1 point, so sometimes I'll have a worm instead of a chocolate or caramel. Again, with the clear containers, with the stuff that I can eat, and it doesn't even have to be a fancy container. These are just like Tupperwares and stuff. Cornflakes to top yogurt with, and you know, rice. So this is eye level, and this one's eye level. So oatmeal, there's brown rice pasta. I can have those pretzels back there. I can have a pickle. This stuff is like salad toppers and, you know, snacks that I can have. And then the bottom shelf is all of my large kitchen appliances, or my small kitchen appliances, I mean. And this is the kids. So I actually have to squat down to look at the kids. And it's also good because it's at their level, so they can come and pick out a snack. And their containers are also clear, but if I'm standing up here, I'm not gonna look down here to get a snack. I know in my head that that stuff is there, but if you just open up the pantry, this is what I see when I look straight ahead. So I can have like a drink packet or some pretzels, you know. So these are their snacks. And I know in my head that this stuff is off limits. I don't even look down here. They do have like veggie straws and stuff that I can snack on, but for the most part, it's stuff that I try to not tempt myself with. You can do the same thing in your fridge. Put your kids' refrigerated snacks in like one of the meat or veggie drawers, just so that it's kind of like, you know, out of sight, out of mind. My husband also has a stash down by his desk that he will keep down there, like with like roasted salted mixed nuts and, you know, chips that I can't have up here in the pantry. So yeah, just make it work for you. This is all the bigger our pantry is, just hanging out over here on the side of our fridge. So yep, nothing fancy, just make it work. My third piece of advice is to offset some of those higher point or higher calorie foods with 0 point foods or low calorie foods. And let me explain what I mean by that. So lately when I've been going to the grocery store, it's really hard for me to find the foods that I'm used to eating, like the specific tortilla wraps or spaghetti squash, or like the low point, low calorie bird's eye pastas. It's just harder to find things that are in the like the canned goods aisle, the bakery, and the frozen foods aisles. So if you have something, say you're used to eating a spaghetti squash, but your grocery store happens to be out of spaghetti squash or zucchini noodles, whatever you're used to eating. If you want to have a pasta, instead of pairing it with a higher calorie meat, like say like a high fat percentage ground beef or a full fat meatball, or something like that, maybe try a chicken breast with some shake and bake on it, or with just a measured out amount of breadcrumbs on it, and then throw that in your air fryer, and then serve that low calorie lean chicken breast or maybe some lean ground turkey with that high caloric dense spaghetti. I know that a lot of the foods that I'm used to having are not in stock. Like this week I couldn't find non-fat Greek yogurt, and I needed it for pizza dough. So instead I got the 2% milk fat yogurt, and then I compensated by buying a fat-free mozzarella cheese as opposed to just using a low moisture part skim mozzarella cheese. My fourth piece of advice is to not self-sabotage. And what I mean by that is if you have one off day or 2 off days, try your hardest not to go completely off the rails. And along those same lines, don't set yourself up for failure by making this be a time to develop new habits. And what I mean by that is if you told yourself at the beginning of the year, okay, by April, I want to have completely cut out like snacking in the evening. Maybe this isn't the best month to be developing that new habit of not snacking past a certain time. We're all going through a hard time. We're all stressed out, even if it's subconsciously. So I wouldn't exactly choose this time to develop those new habits. Just put yourself into survival mode, and if you like need a diet soda, just drink the diet soda. And if you need your snack while you're sitting down on the couch watching TV, then just do that. If you were looking to start a new workout but you feel like really stressed out about it, then maybe it's not the best month to start it. Maybe start it, maybe start working on these new habits after all this has blown over, hopefully, God willing, by late summer. We still have plenty of time to work on ourselves. And I feel like we already have enough on our plates without having to worry about bettering ourselves in other ways. Somebody in one of my recent virtual WW workshops, she said something that really resonated with me. She said, try not to feel guilty about things, even if you do have an off day, because the guilt is just going to add to the stress. And like I said, we're all going through a really stressful time in our lives. So try your hardest to not feel guilty about things and don't self-sabotage yourself. My last piece of advice is to ask yourself what's stressing you out and what you can do to manage that stress. For me, it is the uncertainty of everything that's happening in the world right now. When is it going to be over? And how bad is it really? So what I'm going to do to manage that is to just control what I can control. And that is how much I am socially distancing myself and the foods that I'm choosing to put into my body. Those are things that I can control, and that is how I'm choosing to manage my stress. So there you have it. Those are my 5 tips for staying on track during the quarantine. Again, don't forget to check out those channels in the description box below if you want to see more tips and tricks for staying on track. I hope that you're all doing okay mentally and physically, and that you're trying to make the most of this, and that you're finding something to be thankful for every single day. I am so thankful for all of you, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here and want to see more from me, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I will see you next time. Bye.